what I like about real estate is that the earlier that we can get in, the sooner that we can start making that investment and start building that equity, like it really magnifies over time. So, wherever you're at in life, we're not saying that like you should have the dream home. I think life has different stages and therefore different needs. The goal is really just kind of where you're at today. Can this home suffice for a couple of years, 2, 3, 5 years?
Hey everybody, welcome to the studio. We are sitting here with my friend, the ace, Sean Barsness from Embrace Home Loans. How you doing, Sean?
Thanks, Pat. Thanks for having me here today. This is awesome.
I tell you, it's this studio is awesome. I can't wait to produce more content to help people with the home buying process, just to educate and inform and have a little bit of fun.
I think it's fantastic.
Fun's important.
I think 2025 is the year.
What? It's great that you said that. What about 2025 is going to make it the year?
I think there's a lot of changes, and I think for change in real estate is really kind of what everybody was waiting for.
Yeah.
I think, coming out of COVID, I think people got complacent with like interest rates and home prices, and, they were unsure of like interest rates or home prices or crashes. But in 2025, I think there's a lot of confidence. I think, we see a lot of homes price stability. We still see a lot of buyer demand. Even though interest rates are a little bit elevated from what they were in 2020, it's not looking too bad compared to a longer model. Like in 1980, they were up to the 18% range, and probably like historically average.
Do you know what argument I hear all the time when people talk about that? Well, in 1980, a house only cost $25,000.
I know, wasn't that been nice?
Yeah, I should have bought 20 of them back then, but I was 7 years old,
Right.
so that probably wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, I was making $1 a day.
Yeah, so we're good at that. Honestly, we're not going to talk about the change that just happened in Washington. We all know what it is. Some people like it, some people don't. But to be honest, I really think that it's going to be a positive thing for the economy.
Yeah.
It's going to be a positive thing for interest rates. I definitely, I know you've got some numbers you'll share with us in a few minutes, but we're definitely going to see a decrease in interest rates. It has to go down. It can't keep going up.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see a tick up in home prices when that happens. Paint us a picture. What are we looking at for the next 6 months?
Yeah, it's been a very interesting real estate market. I think interest rates have been really centered there, and with the interest rates, the projection initially was like, oh, we're going to run up really fast, and then we're going to run back down again.
Nope.
And a lot of expectations we were going to hit that 2 to 3% range again, and it's looking more like we'll probably stay in kind of that. Right now, today, this is early February 2025. Interest rates are kind of leveling off, so we're like in the high sixes. Last October, we did see interest rates hit like low 6, so like 6.25. We saw some government loans like the VA loan, the FHA loan. They're pricing in like the high 5s. So that'd be fantastic if we get to that price point. You see a lot of activity when we get into that low 5% handle range. But I think for the expectation, the Federal Reserve is basically taking a position. The economy's great. There's a lot of spending going on. It's really just continuing to go. Unemployment is staying very low. So I think interest rates are probably going to stay in kind of this like maybe high 6 to mid 6 range. But what's really good is that home prices have really stabilized, and we've seen some home price values increase 5, 6, 7, 8, 9% in some areas. It's really amazing.
I've got to tell you, Sean, it's January, and I'm working with 7 buyers right now. I normally don't have 1 or 2 in January, 1 or 2 in February. Here we are at the end of January, and I'm working with 7 different buyers. And the entire gambit of the price range. I have, first-time home buyers, and then I've got folks looking over $1 million in Prince William County. And ironically, there's not a lot of inventory right now. It's low. For people, if you want to sell your house, jump in. Right now is a great time. I know it's a struggle, but while inventory is low, it makes a higher demand for your house specifically.
Yeah.
It's not a bad time to buy. Interest rates are good. They're going to get better. But as interest rates go down, what's going to happen to home prices?
They're going to go up.
They're going to go up. So the money you save on your interest rate, you're going to spend in the price of the house. give me an average of like what someone's going to lose if they wait to buy.
Oh man, that's a great question. Let's talk about first transitioning though. So somebody does sell a home. I mean, I think there's kind of this fixation like, oh, well, I have a 2%, I have a 3%, I have a 4% rate. And so they're like, oh, but I get a 7%. Well, yeah, but you also built a lot of equity. I mean, I have some clients, just in 5 years have something like 250,000 in equity. Then when they sell their current home, that rolls in, they're going to have a bigger home for their family or the right size home for their family. And that's really going to help kind of offset some of that higher expense. So you're kind of moving lateral, per se, in the cash flow payment wise. So you're not getting really expense there. And I think, what was your question again?
Well, if someone's sitting on the fence, I'm not going to.
Oh, it's the waiting.
Yeah, well, so let's say right now the interest rate is 6.75.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy a house until it gets below 6. Okay, let's say that 5 months from now it gets to 5.9. How much money did they lose? And a little bit of speculation here, but factually, how much money are they actually going to lose by waiting that time?
Pat, I think it's really important to like just make sure that we kind of frame this up a little bit. There's definitely a cost of waiting expense. So like, a lot of people may want to save money. They think home prices may come down, but really, why we buy real estate, I think appreciation is a big deal. So let me just kind of break down the numbers. If you just said that, say a home price is 500,000 and we said appreciation is about 5%, in context, 5% times 500,000 is 25,000 in equity gain per year. So when you think of like your expenses as a renter, you're paying 100% of your expense to the interest.
Absolutely.
And you're not picking up any type of return. You're not getting that extra leverage. And that's really what I was mentioning. Like when we see 5 to 8% growth rates, that's like taking 500,000 times 5%, 25,000 a year. So if you're in a home 1 year, that's 25,000. Year 2, 50. Year 3, 75.
Up fast.
Yeah, it stacks. But guess what? When we make payments, we're used to making payments like an expense. We pay rent, but now we're paying a mortgage. And what's interesting about a mortgage, Pat, is that it's broken into two elements. One is called principal, and one is called interest. Interest is obviously the expense. That's what we're concerned about with interest rates. But principal payment is building at that equity. And that equity is the combination of value going up, that 5% growth per year, and paying down on the loan. So as time goes on, like I mentioned, 25,000, 50,000, 75,000. So that's the appreciation. And then you're paying down on the loan. Those principal payments, like savings, is creating that equity. So when you sell the home in the future, the loan balance minus that future value, that's your money in the bank. And it has a lot of powerful tax deductions to it. So it's really important to understand kind of these elements. Sometimes it's really easy just to kind of get focused on the cash flow and the payment and not really look at a bigger picture, because we could maybe shift maybe some of our savings, like maybe we're putting money into a S&P 500 or some stocks or something else. Like this could be another great way to create wealth in real estate and retirement.
It's funny. My financial advisor says when the housing market is doing good, the stock market's usually going down, and vice versa. When the stock market's doing well, the housing market's going down. Well, for the last 4 years, everything's gone down. I mean, we've seen some appreciation, but with the interest rates, it kind of just stifled us. What I'm looking forward to is, I'm a home buyer. I sold my house a few years ago, and I'm not quite sure where we're going to land, but I'm in the market to buy. I'm looking at the best place for my family, whether it's, it stays here in Prince William, if I go to Stafford, if I move a little west. We tried it over on the east end of Prince William County, and it really wasn't the right fit for us right now. Although I can tell you Potomac Shores is a wonderful neighborhood.
I love that area.
Oh my gosh. And the VRE is under construction. It'll be open soon. So I'm excited there.
Such a great opportunity.
Well, they're building another school. They're building a hotel conference center. And, once the train station's done, there's going to be some office space, some retail space. You're going to be able to walk to the VRE in the morning, get your Starbucks, jump on the train, go to DC, come back, get off, pick up your dry cleaning, stop by the grocery store and pick up a few things, maybe stop by the pub and have a pretzel and a beer.
Sounds amazing.
And then walk home. And, it's kind of sounds like a dream. They call it resort living, here in Virginia. So I definitely enjoy the neighborhood. It's not the right fit for us right now because of family things and, the distance to where my daughter's activities are. But I got to tell you, I'm excited. I think we're going to end up back there.
You know, and I think it's really important to like, I mean, a lot of buyers, and they're really focused on this word like my forever home.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think about what I was doing 10 or 15 years ago, and I think I might have been in college or still running around before meeting my wife, much different lifestyle. And so, what I like about real estate is that the earlier that we can get in, the sooner that we can start making that investment and start building that equity, like it really magnifies over time. So, wherever you're at in life, we're not saying that like you should have the dream home. I think life has different stages and therefore different needs. The goal is really just kind of where you're at today. Can this home suffice for a couple years, 2, 3, 5 years? I mean, when you start talking about like home ownership for 10, 15 years, I mean, that's going to really fit like a specific demographic, like maybe a young family, they're in a school system, mid-career. But here in like Northern Virginia, we have a lot of military, a lot of people travel for work in and out. So this home is really only like maybe short-term in nature, maybe 3 to 5 years, but long enough to really take advantage and build that equity up, get the tax deduction, and have a place to call home until you're ready to go to Potomac Shores.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And the average homeowner is 7 years in their home. I run into people all the time. We have a lot of military and there's other folks that want to come rent. The break-even point in Northern Virginia is about 3 years. So if you're relocated here temporarily for a job and you're going to be 2.5 or less, renting might be the right idea for you. Probably not. We can do the math. But if you're going to be here for 3 years, if you don't buy, you're just throwing your money away.
Yeah.
I had a military family a few years ago that moved here and they wanted to rent, and we couldn't find a rental. So I helped them buy a house. They spent the house was $700,000. We're rounding it off the number, $700,000. They spent about $20,000 fixing it up. In 1 year, 2 years and 6 months, they sold it with over $100,000 profit. They got to live here for they got to live almost for money. Oh yeah, so no, it's awesome. Well, and then they relocated. He got out of the Army, went to West Virginia, and got started there. But they netted over $100,000.
That's amazing.
In 2.5 years. That's money that they would have just been throwing away in rent, and they'd have walked away with nothing at the end.
That's right.
So, 100% interest is 100% interest.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, you and I played golf, and we got to do that again.
Yeah, we did. I thought it was a good game.
So we were with a organization called Bridge Builders.
Yep.
They're up in the Alexandria area. Can you tell us a little about? It's your father-in-law that is in that, right?
Yep.
So what are they about?
So the Bridge Builders is all about giving food and developing community around those that are in need. So Bridge Builders puts on, and they have a couple different fundraisers. The one that they really kind of push is basically a shotgun start, 18-hole kind of fundraiser. We just go out there, have a great day. But a lot of great people out there playing golf. The course was beautiful. We had a really good time.
I did. Yeah, I did. I was like 2 weeks in a row at the same course for 2 different shows. I'm not trying to admit, so it's fantastic. I did a horrible job both times. I figured out how to cut 9 strokes off of my game, guaranteed. Skip a hole.
I was going to say you need to teach me that, but now I picked it up.
Yeah, skip a hole. It's a great way.
9 stroke.
Anyway, hey, Sean, thanks for coming in today. Appreciate your time. Please come back.
Awesome.
You've educated me a little bit on the process here, and I gotta tell you, you and I have done a lot of business together. You've taken care of several of my family members with their home purchases, and I gotta tell you, we couldn't be happier. Couldn't have asked for a better partner to work with. So anyway,
let me just kind of one final thought, Pat. It's all about other people's money. We come from like a servant leadership type role. Like we believe in real estate and the power of real estate to create wealth for our families and for our community. And I think it's just really important that when we meet with our clients, that's really what we want to help them understand is what their options are with no pressure, and just say, hey, look, it's about your money. You make the right decision for you. We just want to put all the options on the table.
We want you to make sure that they know all of their options.
Yeah, because how do you make a decision on half knowledge?
That's the world we live in today.
Not working with us.
No, not at all. So anyway, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. If you would like to be featured in one of our upcoming interview videos, let us know. We'd love to talk to you. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.